me tell you, I'm happy to say there's nothing but blue skies coming your way. There's nothing but blue skies coming your way. I'm happy to say there's nothing but blue skies coming your way. Blue skies coming your way. Blue skies coming your way. This is weather. Weather. This is weather. Weather. This is weather. Weather. This is weather. Weather. This is Dick Whitney bringing you the weather.
At the dough. At the dough. At the dough. Always stacking bread. Always stacking bread. Always stacking bread. Always stacking bread.
This is Dick Whitman bringing you the weather. This is Dick Whitman bringing you the weather. And let me tell you, I'm happy to say there's nothing but blue skies coming your way.
It is Saturday, March 15th, and you are watching You Don't Watch Sports right here on the Feo Grande YouTube network. I'm Bill Smith, and I'm joined as always by the man, the myth, the legend, Feo Grande himself, Omari Ellis. Omari, how's your sports week, good sir?
It's exciting, eventful. Eventful, I think, is a good way to put it. Eventful sports week. We'll talk about them. Lots of stuff going on.
Excellent. Yeah, we're going to talk about it here because we cover 3 topics here on You Don't Watch Sports, just to sprinkle a little bit of sports information into your casual conversation as we're your guiding light through the sea that is sports talk. We're going to go into topic number 1, Omari, and my fantasy baseball league that I mentioned last week. Its draft is coming today.
Awesome.
This evening, we will be drafting our fantasy team, and I don't know what I'm doing. So here's what I thought I would do is I'm going to do a mock draft right here live in front of you.
All right.
And I'm going to, I don't know. I'm going to talk through it, and we're going to find out together. So I am starting this practice draft. It is loading right now. I don't even know what the intervals are. I know it's a snake draft, and it's 12 teams.
Oh, okay.
And the league is for, I think I told you it's, okay, it is, your draft is about to start drafting in 10, 9. It is a 12-person team, and then you face one team for a week.
Okay.
And you, gather your players' points throughout that whole week, and then through different games.
Well,
Okay,
if
so
you're first, I think I know who you're going for.
The auto draft is going. No, I am the 7th pick in the draft. I am up now. Looks like I have 30 seconds to make my choice. Right now, the top person according to the auto drafting system would be Jose Ramirez at third base. I already have 15 seconds left. Tarek Skubal as the starting pitcher. I think it's too early to do starting pitcher. I think third base is deep. I am going to do Vladimir Guerrero Jr. at first base because first base is not a deep position. I know that. So I have made my choice there, and I'm gone.
I'm assuming what's his name's already off the board, Shohei.
Yeah, he was picked first, I'm
That's
sure.
what I'm saying. I'm pretty sure if you go first, I know who the first pick is.
I'm back on the clock with pick 18. So I picked 7th, and now I'm at 18. I have Francisco Lindor as the top player right now, potential projected points. Shortstop. Shortstop is an incredible position. I'm going to draft Francisco Lindor at shortstop. So now I have my first base and I have my shortstop taken care of. Um, all right. I am coming up. I am not coming up again until pick 31.
Oh my goodness. So there's 12 people. What do you have? 9 players and like 3 pitchers, or for backups, or I guess 9 players and 3
And
backups.
you got a bench.
Yeah.
All right.
9.
My third pick. I've drafted third baseman Manny Machado.
Okay.
So
Yeah, 'cause
we
you got
have
the
our
first
first
baseman
base,
first. Yeah.
we have our first base, we have our shortstop, we have our third baseman. Now I'm coming up at pick 42.
When do you
I am
start?
now on the clock. I could get a starting pitcher now, but I think that's still too early.
Yeah, I just thought about that. I'm like, when do you get a pitcher? But then I thought about it. If you're weekly, the pitchers they don't play every game,
Right, they're a later round choice
so it's
from what
like
I've
a
been
kicker.
told, but I don't know how late you're supposed to go.
Well, kickers in fantasy football are generally something you draft later. I always get mine in the 5th round because he was one of the better talents in the league at kicking.
I just drafted Jose Altuve at second base.
Okay.
Um, I am now looking at drafting a catcher, and I think I'm drafting St. Louis Cardinals Wilson Contreras. That's probably a heart over mind pick. I probably shouldn't do that.
Hey, Cardinals. Hey,
Now I
hey.
need to get an outfield going, and I'm coming up at pick 66.
Yeah.
All right, we're looking at our outfield. We're looking at our outfield. Um, lot of good players here. A lot of good players. I think I'm gonna draft St. Louis Cardinals Brendan Donovan. Again,
Hey.
that's heart over mind, but that one was better than my Wilson Contreras pick,
I
I think.
always have at least one player from the main team I root for on my fantasy team. Because I want to be happy that my player's scoring points.
Right.
I have personal
Coming up on
rules.
pick 79. All right, I'm on the board. Still a bunch of my outfielders that I'm looking at on here. Um, I'm going to draft Ian Happ.
Okay.
Now I'm coming at pick 90.
Damn.
So yeah, this is going fast. Obviously, all the other people are going to have 30 seconds apiece, and they're not going to make their choice in 2 seconds. So I'll have a little bit more of a breathing room. Um, let's just glance real quick at what our pitchers are at this point. So we still have some really good pitchers on the board, even this late in the draft.
Okay.
So I would finish my outfield with Brian Reynolds.
All right.
I would maybe draft Cody Bellinger. He's new to the New York Yankees, and the stadium matches his swing really well. I think I maybe should have drafted Cody Bellinger there. That's maybe something to look out for. We're gonna stop there because it goes pretty deep after that. So yeah, that's
Yeah.
what ends up happening there.
Do you have any
what are my
person? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
Do you have any personal rules like who you won't draft? Speaking of heart
No.
over mind. Okay. See,
I
yeah.
don't think so. I mean, I just drafted Ian Happ there without much thought, and he's a Chicago Cub.
Okay. There we go.
I don't think so because there's also we're in a good spot right now with where there's not a ton of very vocal bad people
Okay.
in the league necessarily. Like I don't even know who I would attribute, not even necessarily bad, but opinionated, let's say, where maybe that opinion doesn't match mine. Your Aaron Rodgerses of the NFL or something like that.
Yeah.
We're luckily baseball players tend to be a lot more quiet on that end of things. So yeah, I don't know if there's a couple of recent steroid allegation guys that I don't know if I would have balked at. I would have probably just gone ahead and drafted them.
I mean, hey, that's
So
guaranteed points. Yeah, you know me. You can probably guess because, like, I haven't done fantasy baseball. If you couldn't tell, folks at home, but I have done fantasy football a few times, and
Yeah.
obviously, you can guess what teams I have on my. No, I'm not drafting them. You know, and probably even in fantasy baseball, at least there'd be one team I'm just like, nah, and it's the team in Boston. In any of the sports.
I feel like my takeaway from that experience just now was like there's that top shelf of players and they go pretty fast. Like that top shelf is not crazy deep.
Okay.
So by the time that I'm at pick 31, meaning 30 guys have already been drafted and I'm only on my third pick, that top tier is long gone. And I'm at that next tier now. But I think what I was seeing there is that secondary tier is pretty deep and pretty similar in a lot of areas. I
Yeah.
think I'm going to end up going that route. I think I'll end up focusing infield and then outfield.
Okay. And
And
unfortunate
then
positioning in the middle of the draft round because it's so long in between picks, as opposed to like if you're first or last, even if you're last in draft order, because it's snake, it's 2 picks. Bam,
Yeah,
bam.
you get the double picks.
And then
Yeah.
first is like, man, I gotta wait a long time for my second pick, but then it's second, third. Right there. Bam, bam. I don't have to wait. Oh my goodness. Everybody I was planning on drafting just went away. Scroll down the list. Now I gotta look by position. I would say try to get like a list if whatever site you're doing, like set up a draft, like who you want to be ordering, like your own personal draft order. Because usually they have it where that's a quick frame of reference, and you can be like, "Hey, anybody I was still looking to, still available." Bam. You know what I mean? Okay, this
Yeah.
guy's still here. Let's go.
It'll be interesting. I'll keep you updated.
All right. Hey, as one of the perks of watching the show, I get to like know about this. And hell, we got ideas now.
All right,
All right.
Omari. Topic number 2. We have gotten our first flurry of NFL free agency moves. You want to break them down for us? Let us know
That's
what's been going on.
right. Free agency kicked underway fully on Wednesday, and we already had a few things. First off, starting with people getting traded. DK Metcalf, the great receiver from the Seahawks, no longer on the Seahawks. He is a Pittsburgh Steeler now. Seahawks quarterback that was throwing balls to DK Metcalf, Geno Smith, has been traded to the Raiders. And Texans great offensive lineman Laramie Tunsil has been traded to the Commanders. Meanwhile, taking up some of those spots that have been freed up, Sam Darnold, we all know how we feel about Sam Darnold on the show, $100 million to take Geno Smith's spot in Seattle. So Seattle saw what they wanted out of Sam Darnold, and they believe that they can make this jet fly straight like a bird. Anyway, Justin Fields is with the Jets. He's a Jet now. It seems appropriate based on his play the past few seasons. Daniel Jones signed with the Colts. Edge rusher Khalil Mack and offensive tackle Ronnie Stanley and Chris Godwin all re-signed with their own teams. So Khalil Mack is still where he is. Chris Godwin's still a Buccaneer, etc. Joey Bosa decided to go to the Bills defense. He was on the Chargers before, and now he's on the Bills, making that defense even more scary. Devontae Adams, we all know him. He is now a Ram in LA. DJ Reed, don't really know him, is with the Lions, so they help their defense at the cornerback. Josh Sweats and is on the Cardinals. Milton Williams is on the Patriots. Meanwhile, the Eagles, they just won the championship, right? They just won the Super Bowl. Well, it turns out they're stacking up draft picks, and next year, the 2026 draft, they already have compensatory picks enough to where they have 5 of the top 100 picks and 12 overall picks next year. So they're built for now, clearly, because they're winning, and they're already stocked to build their future. And finally, Myles Garrett, who spent his season saying it's not about the money. I'm tired of being on the fucking Cleveland Browns where we always lose all the time. I'm going to a fucking contender. And then the Cleveland Browns said, what if we make you the highest paid non-quarterback in NFL history with $40 million a year? And he said, it's not about winning. I'm staying in Cleveland. I'm getting
I love this city. I always have.
And
this is my team.
I can't blame him. $40 million a year. That's enough to be like, you know what? Is Cleveland really that bad? You know, we'll see what happens. Anything can happen. It's the NFL. Any given Sunday.
Interested to see what the ramifications are for them long term on the cap, as no team has ever held that kind of contract outside of the quarterback position.
And they've spent a lot of money on the quarterback position. Unfortunately. Anyway,
all right, Omar, we'll
NFL.
slide into topic number 3, NBA grab bag. We got a bunch of stuff, a bunch of news and notes, a lot of interesting things going on in the NBA. Run them through it.
Yes, we've got right now the Warriors have been going crazy, going through competition since they got Jimmy Buckets on the team. They have been 12-1. Moving up they moved from I think the 10th seed. I believe they're the 5th seed or 4th seed right now. They have moved. They're 2 games behind the Lakers, who are on the decline, having LeBron get an injury. They're on a 4-game losing streak, only 2 games ahead of the Warriors right now. And so they're going down while the Warriors go up. Meanwhile, the Nuggets, you can't sleep on the Nuggets. They beat the Lakers last night. Shows you, we're so scary because we got Luka. Well, Jokic is still here, and he don't give no damns. Did you know within the past week or 2 he had the first ever 30 points, 20 rebounds, 20 assists game? He had more than each of those numbers, but he's the first player ever to break those 3 bam 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 in one game. Jokic, he still doesn't care about basketball, and he's still better than you.
He just wants to see his horses.
He just
wants to get the season over with so he can go see his horses.
And he's still better than you. But enough about these big market teams. No one cares about the big market teams that are in the middle of the seating and whatever. Let's talk about the people topping the rank, the small markets. Did I say Cleveland won't win any championships without someone named LeBron? The Cavaliers don't think so. I don't know. I said something about Myles Garrett and all of that.
It seems like something you would say, though.
Yeah, but I don't think I said that. But the Cavaliers...
At some point on a whatever we want or something.
But the Cavaliers, 56-10 this season, and the Oklahoma City Thunder, people are ignoring them, but they top the power rankings. Oklahoma City at 54-12. People talk about SGA, but they don't talk about how dominant Oklahoma's been as a whole. But SGA is one of the front runners next to Jokic for that MVP this season. One of the
somebody asked Jokic about it, and he was like, I can't give you the requote, but it was the most Jokic always is, and yeah, it was just like, what? Not important to me. Horses. You're saying.
And speaking of other teams that people have not been talking about, including the people paid to talk about the NBA, don't talk about this team because they still shit on it, like Shaq. The Detroit Pistons, from one of the worst teams in the league. I think they were the 15th worst team in the Eastern Conference last year out of 16 teams, if not. No, there's only 30 teams in the NBA. So they were the worst team in the Eastern Conference last last year, if not the NBA. And they were 14-68. This year, they're like 36-32 or something along those lines. But the bottom line is they're a 6th seed playoff contender. They've turned things around, and they're going on a tear since the All-Star break. Cade Cunningham, Malik Beasley, both playing great. Cade Cunningham was an all-star. We don't hear anything about them because they're the Detroit Pistons, but we should talk about them. And we got a platform where we can talk about them. Good stuff, Detroit. Good stuff, everybody. Good stuff, Cleveland, OKC. Yeah, so that's a little bit of the NBA kind of grab bag. There's other stuff with, oh no, LeBron's soft because he ain't talking to Stephen A. Who cares? Get the big market teams out of here. We're talking about the other teams. Shine some light on other people around the league.
That's right. That's right. Well, that's 3 topics here on You Don't Watch Sports, just to sprinkle that little bit of information into your casual sports conversation as we are your guiding light through the sea that is sports talk. If you like to hear us talk about other nonsense, we talk about movies, TV shows, other media, getting traded back and forth from one guy has seen, the other one hasn't. This guy hasn't seen. That's here on this YouTube channel. We also have Mock Draft, where we talk mostly about wrestling, centered around our fantasy league, where we have drafted wrestlers and earned points with their wins and losses. We're on the road to WrestleMania.
Yes,
so we got a lot of points cooking right now, a lot of stuff building on that front. And then we have friend of the channel, Super Jazz.
Super Jazz.
Joining Omari on whatever we want, whenever they want, usually on Wednesdays when they want to do it. And then You Don't Watch Sports right here, live, every Saturday at 11 o'clock Central Time. Omari, where else can they find you on the internet?
Well, you guys can also find me on Twitter and Twitch at Giotavi. That is Giotavi. Come on in. Stop on by. Streaming Day 240. You know what that means. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Got anything else to say, Bill? No, he does not. All right. Well, we will see you next week with more. Have a good one. Adiosness.